So this way, today lecture I'll try to give you a gesture of what exactly gesture. Why I'm saying is just what we can do with machine learning in geospatial intelligence. We all know, what is the geospatial intelligence, and the main purpose here, like we as a computer science students, what we try to do is like we use this machine learning techniques and apply on different areas. And my topic as of now, where we can use it, what is the prospects of this particular area that we can look into. See, I have listed out so many applications in my slides. I have listed out so many applications there. Yeah, I have listed out. इसमें आप शेयर कर रहे हैं, आप काट दिखा रहे हैं, दो जगह पे रोकना तो कैसे होगा? इधर स्लाइड्स इधर कर दीजिए। हाँ। Given so many applications where this machine learning can be applied. Specifically, I just want to know where you people will be using this machine learning. Have you ever seen maybe saying civil engineer from Jharkhand government? So have you started using the machine learning in Jharkhand government? You are from Jharkhand government, right? Okay, what do you actually do? Okay, very nice. Uncovered and land cover maps. You actually look into it, see that where we can do cultivation or infrastructure generation. That is what it is. Anyone else who are working on this machine learning research? Okay, prediction of floods. What is the impact of the flood? You other people in different domain. He was working on maps and he was working on floods, and you people are working on there is a huge application. Very huge means everywhere we can use this application in my machine learning. What you see here is enabling automated analysis of vast amounts of geospatial data, including satellite imaging, LiDAR, GPS data, and social media feeds. So I work on what you call it as social media feeds. So I want to defame you. I can do it. Like maybe your company is there. I just want to defame you by simply posting social media posts, saying that this architecture is not proper. This person is not right. He is not taking care of these parameters. This infrastructure is not good. This traffic generation is not good. That way we can defame. I specifically work on this sentiment analysis. We call it a sentiment analysis. That is where we try to find out the sentiment. Like movie review is a sentiment analysis. And what you say that whether you want to buy this one or this one, recommender system. And a doctor recommender system. Disease recommender system. Hotel recommender system. Okay, if you want to go for an outing, okay, there we can also recommend that these are the places where we can go. So that is where exactly I am working on. But I am looking at certain area where in which this geospatial first and foremost classification is use remote sensing and satellite image analysis. We have images. Why? Images in the sense like not small data, huge data. Huge, and you cannot imagine what is the useness of the data. Every instant of time I want to track out, find out the instance of what exactly you are trying to do. Every moment I will catch up the image of your movement. That image that I will be taking out and to find out what you call it as you were saying, like land use and land cover. Technology is different and application is different. There are two important research areas that we generally look at. One is technology development, like what is called it, which algorithm is beneficial, whether we need to adapt this algorithm or not. What is the accuracy of this, what is the efficiency of this, what is the performance of this method. That is what we look at one direction. Whereas another direction is like, what is an application on which we can improve upon. So remote sensing data and satellite image analysis is the data where in which the first and foremost application is land use and land cover. So if I ask a very general question, a 6th class student question, like what is the percentage of land cover? That means no, not pixel, not technical, general question like what is the land cover, percentage of land cover. That means living area. What is called earth, we call it as living area. Remaining is not land cover. That is oceans or water. It is there. 30. Yeah, 70 and 30%. That is 70% is water, and 30% is left out with land. And in that, if you want to classify them, what is the living percent, density of population in different areas? If you come down in that particular, still it got 30% we have the land area, and whereas if you look at deserts, if you remove, dense forest if you remove, and there are ponds and rivers we have, that if you remove, finally what we have? Very less amount of land. Right? Okay. So that is what we see. Like what exactly the purpose of this particular classification? First classification remote sensing is like which land can be used. I cannot construct a building which is loose soil, which has a loose soil. An infrastructure building, I cannot make an industry on a loose soil. We want some specification. That is what we are trying to use in the first classification. The next one is change detection. What is the change detection? Name itself says that it is the change detection. What do you mean by that? With respect to time, what is the change? Like maybe Dhanbad in current year, it is having these many infrastructure buildings. And as I suppose IISN, this EDC classroom, this classroom was not there 5 years ago. So this was only instituted when this building was constructed. So that is the change detection. What is the prospects of the change that is going to happen after certain? That is what we can do. That is using machine learning. First thing, we can able to identify the best land for agriculture or for infrastructure or for anything else which we want to construct. Second thing, change detection. What is the development that can we look at this thing? And crop one thing. This is one and foremost thing which we actually look at as an Indian. Simply we depend upon agriculture. We depend on crop. Upon the crop. So maybe I don't know the Russian people. There is no vegetarians there in Russia. Why I am calling it as like cold weather. They cannot. They will say that I want only plant to eat. They cannot survive. What they get is that non-vegetarian, only meat they will get, and the dry fruits they get. You go and find an aloo, fresh aloo you won't get it. Even at that temperature, you will not even able to fish, fish. If you take out from that under the sea, you take out that fish, it will immediately become a freeze. It will freeze. So that is the difference. We cannot. So what exactly I am to try to see is like the crop monitoring that we are going to talk about. How do you maintain and develop a nice crop? Current now, parents are bothered about their children, that what is his growth, whether he is growing properly, at different time frames he is doing well. What we measure is that whether his growth is good or not. We look at those who have married, they can understand that we are worried like he is not growing high, he is not eating properly. He will complain to the doctor. I have a daughter who is now I think 9 years old. When she was born in 16, and at the age of 3 years she is not speaking. I was worried. I went to the doctor. I said, like, what happened? Doctor said, the only simple thing what is that you don't need to worry. She is getting confused. My mother tongue is confused. And here, majority people speak in English. Outside the campus, if you go, majority people speak English. And some places, people, friends, her friends, and my friends, they speak Bengali. And these 4 languages, she has a confusion. And doctor said, like, see, once she start talking, you will not able to stop her. She will continuously speak. That is what he said. The same thing happened. After 4 years, she got comfortably able to speak everything. Hindi she can speak, English she can speak, and Telugu she can speak. Bengali she is not speaking, but she can understand a little bit. But she can speak 3 languages comfortably. 9 years she is, and she speaks continuously. What I am saying is that this crop monitoring system, it was not there before. Because we want population is growing, our requirements are growing. See, if you keep a vegetable which is fresh and keep it one day or another day, vegetable, what do you do? Obviously, we try to buy the fresh one. Why we buy fresh one? So, in order to make them fresh, we add pesticides, we add preservatives, we add all these things, and the same thing is happening by making the crop grow. The crop is only this much. It has 10 fruits in it. Yes or no? Nowadays, you see that Israeli technology, if you look at, the crop is only this much, but it will yield tons of fruits in it. When saying tons means, they from a whole year they will produce fruits. And I don't know nowadays, this is very popular. I mean, if you drink milk, you will be healthy. Milk, where you will get? How many cows are there? How many animals are there? How many buffaloes are there? You drink milk. Milk now, how you are getting milk? All artificial milk nowadays. Made from different, worried about our health. At the age of 30, people are getting, see, I am just not coming to this next one. Disaster management, I am just saying, and response. Flood prediction and in the simple line, what is that flood? Kerala. Why not flood? Within no time, people are predicting, no, it will not happen. But suddenly it happened everything. So if you can identify this using a machine learning technique, if you can predict correctly, we could save so many. But it is, Nepal earthquake, Gujarat earthquake, we have this. And prominent, very wildfire detection. Nowadays, we see that wildfire in Amazon, Los Angeles, continuous. No people are not. I don't want to debate in other sense. People were talking in different sense, but the right sense is like nobody expected that. From where it is coming, how it is coming, unexpected. See, if you can able to identify before itself, we could cause the damage, we can reduce the damage. That is the intention of what we are trying to do. Machine learning will help you to find out the prediction of any information just before the happen. Just before the happen. Get you. You all know that yesterday match was very fantastic. Everyone was happy. You know how much speed the ball goes. What is the rate at which we are going to win has been predicted by machine learning. It is proven that the results are very accurate with the first over immediately there will be one prediction. Second over, second prediction. Third over, third prediction. Fourth over, fourth prediction. I think we can predict. And we will be able to identify that whether we will be winning or not. We have confidence. Generally, I don't watch. I'll try to take the results. Because that if I watch, they may fail. They may lose the match. That is my fear. I happened to see very eagerly, and the tension raises, and I saw the match, and finally they lose the match. It's all disaster. No? That's why I don't generally watch much. That is my from V.G.K. I stopped watching. I try to take the information from my friends. Since my country is playing, I have to take it. Okay. So wildfire, this is the second response. And urban planning and smart cities. My student was working on what we call it as Winkler ad hoc system. Winkler ad hoc system. In the sense like a device will be implanted in the vehicle. As he goes, the information transfers. So, the information is shared to the end people where the people will not get the information. Like that he was trying to prove it, but he is successful. The same way, urban planning and smart cities. I find it very difficult. I'm sorry to say that the Dhanbad people, you are from Dhanbad. I'm sorry to say, no planning is there in Dhanbad. Not even one area I find planning is there. At least in ISM there is some planning. But in other places outside the ISM, I have visited so many places to buy a small piece of plot. I find it very difficult to understand what the construction is, how one people construct, other people will survive, where the drain will go, where one drain will go into another house. And no ventilation, no cross ventilation. I don't know how people have planned. Whatever way they thought they were. And there is no proper monitoring of construction. It's very sad to say, and I am also have to stay next 20 years in Dhanbad, but still I feel like very sorry for this plan. So urban planning is very, very important. If the good thing about this particular place is that you will not have a plan. Do you know that? Dhanbad or Jharkhand, I heard like Jharkhand will not have a plan. Bihar also. Bihar has a plan. Effect. But here in Jharkhand, I heard that you cannot have a flood. Even though how much rain it comes. Yeah, that is what I heard. So that's why maybe there is no plan. That is why there is no plan. But Dubai, if you see, they have constructed a palm tree, well planned, well structured. Don't say that they have money, we don't have money, we also have money. But there is no proper monitoring. There is no proper monitoring. Everywhere, India lacks in monitoring. Okay. So, infrastructure monitoring, air quality monitoring. Nowadays, we are struggling. Now, Delhi is struggling. Slowly. Dhanbad also. They are, as air quality considers that this also has quality of air is not very good in Dhanbad because of right? This is also that we can do. So, as you people from range from this region or another region, if you can do some social problem research where you can improve the quality of air. Not improve the quality, control the quality of. Have you heard about air purifier? How much it costs? Do you know that it costs? Very costly. How much it costs? It starts from 9,000. Nowadays, people are trying to look at these purifiers everywhere. Maybe I don't know in some maybe director's room or deputy director room or instance may have. I don't know whether they have it or not. It's not there. Okay. I don't know, but still people are trying to look at it. People are trying to search for it. Okay, we will try to buy one purifier. Why? Because of the quality. Right? So that way, infrastructure monitoring, as I said, like infrastructure monitoring, I stay at 180 quarters. You have visited, I think, 180 quarters I stay. I am from South India, so I want the top floor, I took the top floor. Because somewhat heat I want. I want to go to terrace and use the terrace. So I took the top floor. The infrastructure, the cross ventilation is perfectly designed. Cross ventilation is perfectly designed. I face southwest corner house. House was very well planned, but only thing is that the quality of infrastructure is compromised. The quality of infrastructure. If you, my son hits, he is 11 years old only. If he hits the door, a bathroom door, it will fall. Infrastructure is there. The design parts are that way. So this is one very important defense security. My friend is working with DRDO. Even I am very close to her. She is scientist staff. She will not share any details. She will not share. I was actually trying to ask her, like, shall we work together for a small project? So, in what way I will write the project so that we will get a project? That way I am trying to slowly ask her. She will say, politely say, Asmina, we try to look into that. Never ever. Till now we had a long experience, more than 10 years. Till now she never said any information. So that is what where we have to do is like object research. I am saying that security aspect in the sense like why we need very secure data which need to be dealt in the defense and security is first and object detection. I cannot say by your face whether you are a good person or a bad person. dangerous animal is human. Dangerous animal is human being. What is there inside, nobody knows. And it can harm you in a different way. If you want to harm you, by not knowing that I have harmed you, you can also do that. That is why I am calling it as the dangerous animal on the earth is man. So, हम लोग को भाषा में बोलता है साधु जंतु. You are from anyone? Is there anyone from under? Okay, sadhu jantu. What does it mean? You can translate it in no. Is called sadhu jantu. Cow is called sadhu jantu. Sida. Both humble and very calm animal is cow. We all respect the animal and some people even brave towards. But what is the cow is better than a man. If you don't have a right intention, if you don't have a right education, if you don't have a right thoughts, you are worse than cow. Border surveillance as a military evidence, we need to identify whether he is a child or a man or a normal person. That by saying your face, I will not be able to say whether you are a Jawan or a soldier. You need to identify Jawan, soldier in the sense like you are same thing. Whether you are a student or a Jawan. So, marine surveillance. This is one important thing. What is the challenge inside a border surveillance is that you can even identify a particular movement, you will be able to identify that there is a movement. Identify the object and say that there is a movement, there is a delay or movement, and we can able to say that okay, there is a movement. In marine, you cannot identify the longer distance range objects. Who is moving, how it is moving. That is the biggest challenge. And climate change and environmental. Deforestation monitoring, glacier and ice cap melting, carbon emissions. So you get the data from a multi-area perspective, and these perspective of a data, then what we try to do is that analyze, identify how it can be. There are so many. I'm just moving out. Geospatial implementation business. This is also one of the current research area because I have a business. What is the prospect of this business that I want to do? Okay, this is the last one, geospatial area. So one of my students was working in medical diagnosis, where we call it as medical recommender system. Medical recommender system, which doctor you have to go for, whether you have to go for the first opinion, second opinion, third opinion, fourth. Like generally, I give a small example. I have this style of presenting. My brother-in-law, my sister got married in year 2017 or 16, if I am right or wrong. I don't remember that day. They were saying that 17 or 16. So immediately after 6 months, my brother-in-law got diagnosis with cancer. After 6 months, yes, my sister is a medical doctor. My brother-in-law is a MBA in health management, and they have a hospital. Everything was After just 6 months, he was detected cancer. What is this? He will be fine and bold and strong. First opinion was taken in Kakinada. Second opinion was taken in Rajahmundry. Third opinion was taken in Villuri, CMC. So, first and second was wrong. Third one was right. What did they say? This is an infection. No need to come after 15 days. You will be healed after 15 days. What is the problem is that he is getting fever this day, alternate day he is fine, he is using set of tablets, and the third day he is getting fever, again 5th day, 7th day he is getting continuously for 1 month. We are tried for this. We verified and we are consoling my sister that what to do. Nobody expected this one. So my sister simply said, shall we try for the third opinion, go to Villuri. They said like this is a small infection that has to be treated with a high dose medicine. You after 15 days, no need to come. No need to come. And similarly, it is happened. So, what is I am telling here is like nowadays doctors immediately say that you need an operation. Doctors immediately say that you need attention. You need to have this medicine. You need to have this medicine. Because they get for small fever, they will get how many tests? 4 and 5. Huh? Not 4 and 5, 15 to 20 tests. If he knows that you are good enough to big man in the pocket, you can understand that you can test more. Because they take advantage of your weakness. Health is weakness for everyone. So, you have to take 1 or 2 suggestions. So, now AI can help you to detect whether you have any problem or not. That is what we are trying to work on. That is called medical resource allocation or medical diagnosis. Medical charging khatam. This is a case study where in which how the machine learning works. Land use and land cover classification. The main purpose is like so we want to find out which land will be properly used. That is the simple case study that which I have told you. So what we need to do is like identify different land cover types, whether it is a forest, urban areas, water bodies, and desert areas, cultivated areas, different areas, school regions, buildings, shopping malls, or different areas which we have. Monitor environmental changes over time. We like to find out like depending upon. So what is our observation? In this region, which crop need to be grown? Can I, lychee you all know?
Yes, yes.
You all know, no? You people like it is going to come very fast. Lychee. So lychee cannot be grown in the southern part of India. South India, no question. Jharkhand, some parts actually, some parts, there is 1 or 2 trees inside the campus also, lychee. But I have seen, I have read my I have seen what you call it as at Guwahati, where in which one tree was planted, lychee tree was planted just next to the pond. Every time I see it will grow very nicely. Bihar, I heard like northern part of Bihar, and that comes from there. Okay, I see like a very beautiful tree. That one tree, when I used to go enter into the Guwahati, I did my PhD, that's why I go. I did my PhD from Guwahati. When I traveled to enter into Guwahati, there I found a different one tree. I remember that tree still now. That is really blessed with so many ages. So what is the limit? How do we, if it is producing that much fruit, what is the environment, what is the soil rate that we are going to give for that particular tree? That is what we will use that. If you can provide the same soil and means with same soil and the water content at that level, it grows, every tree grows that way, no? If you can provide that environment, that water, that soil, every tree grows that way. That is the only thing that we can do. That is how we can analyze what is the soil quality, okay, what is the moisture percentage, what is the sun rays that we require. So that way we can give the parameters and improve it so that we can increase that. So this case study was developed based on data which is Sentinel-2 and Landsat-2, and which uses simple data processing. So one important thing which we need to say about here is like good data, good results. The data is good, results are good. How do you get this good data? How do you understand this is good data? Whether the data is good or bad. Food, I can ask him like what is good food or what is bad. Quality of data. We call it as quality of data, quality of results. If you have the quality of data, you have the quality of results. If data is not good, that means how do you assess this quality of a data? Or what do you mean by quality of a data?
It is all very good from my particular research. Actually, the quality of the particular data depends on researcher to another, that which field he will research. That means
quality term is what he is saying is quality term is a relative. I like this food, he likes this food. It is relative with respect to him. But what is quality data? Coal is there. The good quality coal is better quality coal. But we can assess the quality of coal by certain parameters. The quality of data is assessed by certain parameters. Quality with respect to a relative term, which we want to say is that with respect to the byproduct. So you want kerosene, you want diesel, you want, that is the byproduct based on which you mix up some compositions of chemicals to get a byproduct. So that is what we see here. So then what we do is that we extract some features. We extract some features. And then what we do is modeling. This is the main purpose of what exactly we did. As he was saying, like he was using random forest, decision tree, support transmission, convolution neural network, and deep learning techniques. So on, so on, so on. People nowadays are very fond of what we call it as CNN, deep learning. Everyone says like I am using NNN, CNN. Why we are getting these results? Nobody is. People are not understanding like why we are using these techniques. Is it necessary to use it? Is it important to use it? Nobody understands. So finally, once you use the techniques, what you will get is classification. I have classified this building, this area, this region, this is based on different classification. Then whether my classification is correct or wrong, that may not be correct. Accuracy assessment with ground truth data, that is validation. Validation, what do you mean by validation? To assess the data with the ground truth data. So I was classified, I like football, I like cricket. So I was classified into football. So whether that is ground truth is right or wrong, that is what we call it as an accuracy. So machine learning techniques can be used for different extraction which will be useful. Maybe many people have discussed about these things. What I intended for this particular presentation is like, you have so many applications. Take one application, study on that application. Maybe defense one, you take one, marine detection. Or maybe it will be very difficult to get the data. So best way to take the data set which you will get it like crop or an infrastructure planning, traffic planning. You try work on small problem where how machine learning can be applied. That will be a good way of working on some research. So this case study says that urban expansion monitoring. This is of the where in which New Delhi data used is this one. What is this we are trying to do? Findings are significant increase in urban sprawl. That means you heard about Delhi nowadays. The entire Delhi is expanding like anything. We call it as Noida this side and the other side is Gurgaon. People are moving from there to there. Impacts of use for sustainable urban development plan. You cannot stay in city, Delhi. You cannot stay in Gurgaon. Gurgaon means 2-hour journey. You have to travel from Gurgaon to Delhi 2 hours. Go back 2 hours. Even metro. Challenges and limitations. So what are the challenges? As I was saying, the first one is data quality. Second one is labeling issues. What is labeling issues? Label means like until unless you know about this person is likes football, you can classify him that whether he likes football or cricket. If he knows that he likes football, then we can surely say that if I classify him that he likes cricket, then the classification model is wrong. That is what we call it as a labeling. That means we need to know the information before. No, we are not talking about images only. We are talking about all time tracking. No. This is data may be a simple text data. This data may be a image data. This data may be as a video streaming data. Since object detection, surveillance is a video data. So immediately you have to identify an object. You have an URL. You have to identify an object. You have an URL. There in which in In stream data, you have to identify data. After that, you will not get that frame again. It has to be identified. Okay. There is future transfer LUCU. What is that? LUCU. We know we are talking about land use, land. Okay. These are the things which are required. Okay. And the conclusion for LUCE is that we can master so many things on this particular. So many challenges are there, so many opportunities are there where we can able to identify geospatial vision learning can be applied, which can give better results. Next one is your laptop. That is over. Okay, this is break. I'll just move my slides. This is so much. This is break outbreak prediction. Say COVID, we suffered a lot. People were saying that government has not done something. They have not done something. Whatever maybe there is some yes or no answer. Okay. Major problem is like if you can identify things well before so that we can able to identify better things like this. See the techniques which can be used like as I have mentioned here is also like factors to predict COVID-19. Okay. This is also one case study where you can see the agricultural exercise. I have given an introduction of this one. Different countries are working on this area nowadays because the population is growing. Now China is doing very good in every age. We need to admit that no cross-filling in technology or even in product development, they are far better than India. We need to admit there is no wrong reason to say that. Every nut bolt, you all know that I was studying about China in that one. Nail cutter is manufactured in China that we use. Do you know that? You find out any market, anywhere, nail cutter, you see that it is made in China.
Sometimes Korea.
Yeah. Korea is half of what you call it as Western world. The Korean country or Asian. Japan, Kia car. Kia is a Korean car or Japan car? Korea. South Korean car. Kia. People are fond of buying Hyundai, Creta, Kia, Santos, but Indian cars, people are not. Right. What is the difference in saying? What I am saying is like we are technologically growing, but our brains are brain drains. Brain drain. We people are now masters. Who is Nadalla? Satyanadalla. Who is the chief of this one? And everyone are chiefs of there, but we are only we are giving, setting them to. There is no such thing. What I want to tell you here is like the precise farming, they are doing very well. Chinese people are doing well. You know that Chinese people in rice farm, you all know rice field, rice not farm, rice field, in paddy field. In paddy field they grow fish, integrating farm. Chinese people do that. In India, or where it is? Sundarban. Only one place?
Well, you can find another place also, but the main problem integrated farming is there because of they face regular like saline water intrusion, cyclone, flood, different natural hazards.
Yeah, that is what we need to look at.
So they cannot develop their land spatially.
Spatially, we have to adapt that. You see that China hills are completely farming. Majority of hills are farming. We do have here also tea gardens here. This
Yeah,
is
my question is
Yeah.
point of view that is precision farming. How to introduce in India? As we know that the most of the farmers in India belongs to the moderate, like marginal farmers. They have less than 1 hectare, even in some of cases they have less than 2 acres, 2
Yes,
4 acres land. So,
1/4 of an acre.
yeah, so how can they implement precision farming when this kind of farming needs the high input cost? Like drone, machine learning, they even know any language of like modernity. So
European countries all have this modern equipment farms. People say that industry people are not rich people there. Farming people are rich people.
because they
Poultry farming is rich people.
they have
Meat
thousands
farming
of-
is rich people. Because they have thousands of acres. So what is his question is that how do we adapt this precision farming in Indian context? That is a very big question.
Because most of the farmers don't have any like trial and literacy or infrastructure.
No, nobody knows. So what we are trying to do is that actually government is having a saying that government is trying to do that how much pesticide you have to use, that control they are trying to do. Fertilizer you have to control. You cannot take away their land and say that I will give you a part of this land as a profit as to you. That way it will not work. Government is trying to control the usage of pesticides, making the farmers teach that pesticides need to be controlled, fertilizers, how much you have to use. That is what we are going to do, nothing else.
But one thing is that if we reduce the use of pesticides and insecticides, in that case, the production might be less. But
That should be balanced.
But
It
after
is very-
revolution, the introducing HYVC is like performing a huge jump from indigenous to HYV, and performance of the result is might even bigger. And that's why the soil
Fertility
fertility and productivity is decreasing day by day. In that case, if we change our level, implementing the like amount of pesticide, insecticide, that type of result we cannot get.
Yeah.
In some
See, for that farming, if you want to do it, Indian context, southern part of climate is completely different from the northern part of the climate. You cannot force anyone to do that. This is what you have to do, and this is what you have to do. Only thing is like what traditional farming does. Can we improve on the traditional farming? That way only we can guide them, not dictate. We can only guide them to implement the technology, how we can make the farming. Nowadays, see, farming is costlier.
Sir, actually, the government is also giving so many subsidies on drones. Like last year, if we saw the budget
Yes,
was.
you can use drone.
Sir, actually, it is trying to encourage agri-tech startups like where we can use just consult farmers for small packets of land, like for major areas of
Major area.
we can like they are actually encouraging startups like agri-tech startups where
Yeah, government is trying very well.
so that is how we can actually increase the yield and use precision farming in Indian context. And there are other techniques like vertical farming also.
See, what big forest, where in which what you can do is like using drones, you can plant seedlings. The forest, you can make a forest using seed. That way we can do it. But in general small scale farming, village set farming, you are not able to do it.
That is what like companies should like. That is what government is trying to encourage.
Yeah, see,
There is a point that we call that subsidy, government subsidy, but after some time, government like initiate some NGOs like companies to provide the money, material support for the farmer, and it's for contact farming. In that case, farmers actually engaged in cultivation according to their resources, like आपको cultivate करना है, वो cultivate करना है, according to their demand. But
see, actually thing is that I use one example where poultry farming, hence very famous in Andhra Pradesh specifically. Okay, poultry farming. Now in this region, this time, current time is having that flu. But is from us. So flu is there. So what is the loss? Can we detect that flu? Can we eradicate that flu? Using drones, can we make that flu happen? See, poultry farming is indirectly supporting fish farm. Actually, the base product of poultry farm is put it into fish. Well,
there is no waste.
the problem is like the antibodies which are given to the hen are also given to fish, and the swine flu that has been bird flu which has been come to the birds, if you cannot put it into ponds, waste, you cannot put it into the fish ponds, no. Can you do it? No, you cannot do it. Immediately you have to stop the control of bird flu and this one. That is what we can also think of. See, where the problem is how to reduce it. We cannot make sure that everything changes in a day or in a year or 5 years. That's why government also says that 2040. Target is 2040. We want to become India a developed country. Okay. 2040. Yeah. Thank you.
हाँ होगी